What is up, heroes? Welcome to the next module. Hope you're having a great day. Module 5, stem and leaf method for advanced selling. Just a quick recap. So the stem is the phases going vertical or horizontal. Most stems go horizontal, so imagine, no, they don't, they go vertical. So just imagine that one. And then the leaves obviously go off to the left and to the right. So if you think about the KPIs for each little segment of the bamboo stem, these are things you need to understand from within that little segment. Is the tick boxes here, and then you're thinking like, all right, okay, where does the call fall apart, and where do I maybe need to address things either with a leaf or in a kind of like a more structure process type thing, or like a pre-handle built into your scripting. Okay, so if you can think about it, it's different. Do I need to, change my process, change my script, or on the fly put a leaf in? Okay, so that's where we're kind of at with things. So as we discussed before, any discovery process within a selling environment is going to have like what's their current situation, yeah. So what are we trying to work out, guys? We're trying to work out what the current process is. Seems a bit of a no-brainer, right? But also, like, what are the metrics? It would make sense to know, like, what's their weight, like close rate. How long have they been following this current strategy? And have they been using it? Like, how long have they been using it? Sorry, that's a runoff from the last line there. Okay, so what are the kind of problems that tend to arise in this phase? So you got problem. They're not doing the closer is not doing a total discovery of the call, and then it's unraveling. So case in point, you might find that somebody, this is an ROI offer, and you're talking to like a business operator looking to launch like a new business. They're looking lead flow, or and you're trying to, maybe not, that's not a good example, or maybe you're trying to get an understanding of a person's financial situation. You just don't do a great job. You try and put them in a bit of I suppose, let's say it like, a functional bind at the end of the call by saying like, what happens if nothing changes, and they just, something just crawls out the woodwork that you hadn't really discovered in situation, and it just like really waters down the call, and possibly even probably, you lose, you maybe even lose the deal potentially. So what's the problem? You're not so what's the fix? Ensure you understand their process enough to know that you have the components needed to formulate a gap. All right, so like, say for example, this could be somebody like wanting to launch a, like, I'm probably going to refer to Amazon stores coaching offers quite a bit, because um, it's just kind of, it's an easy one to really display a case in point. So you're speaking to a lady. Okay, so you're a nurse. Okay, and are you on your own, or do you have a family supporting? Gotcha. And your husband, will you be part of the business too? Okay. Oh, okay. So no. Okay, if he's a solicitor, well, is this your first opportunity at passive investment, or do you have anything else on the go right now? So instead of me saying, "Oh, you're a nurse, great, okay," I'm making a presumption. Okay, like, you could ask, like, what is that, like a specialist nurse, or like in the community, or what does that look like? You could even ask that just out of interest, and then you say, "Oh, I'm a high spec nurse, intensive care." I think, okay, and then husband's a solicitor now, and we know that they haven't got any other investments. There's a far more depth understanding. So when we get later in the phases around the uh, solution questions, need payoff questions, and we're looking to create like that future outcome, or create that gap, shall I say. Like, we've got a baseline in order to build the gap off. But if we didn't have that baseline, because they came back at you saying, yeah, we've got like 500,000 crypto, which is yielding us, 100,000 a year. So we'll think about it. It's different, isn't it? If we didn't do that discovery. So that's important, guys. We need to do an effective discovery, and that can be, different between offers, different offers. You're going to have different components that's going to trip you up, okay? But it's good to sort of think about in advance, like what it is specifically you need to work on. Okay, so there's going to be like a money value objection at the end of the call. If that happens, okay, what we can sometimes do is put like a life evaluation or business expenditure audit. So it's a faster analogy. I think this came from Eli Wild, so props to him. It's like, what are they spending on food, amusements? I can't remember what it is, smoking, and other things as well. Okay, so what, like, you know This would be the execution. This is coming from like a fitness script I designed a while ago. Quick question: stimulants such as nicotine, caffeine, alcohol can sometimes inhibit us from hitting our goals. You smoke, drink, or drink a lot of coffee. Okay, so what have I done there? I've just cherry picked the things that cost most money and put it in a little cheeky little question there. And I may ask, like, would it be impossible for you to maybe temporarily switch in your diet and lifestyle in order for you to achieve what they said they wanted? So they're kind of saying yes, they would. Okay, and in terms of energy expended, you have like a fairly physical or physical job or lifestyle. So what am I doing there? I'm qualifying on money. I know it's not specifically part of situation, but it's just like a little cheeky hack that I thought I'd throw in for you as well. Okay, so I know that's kind of a scripting thing, not so much a leaf thing as if you think about what we talked about at the start of this video. But that can certainly help with value money ejections. Okay, so problem. The next problem is if their process is new or they don't have a process. Okay, so go hypothetical or previous strategy. Yeah. Okay, like what would have been your go-to strategy in the past for weight loss? Or let's say that you did need to find leads today without a lead gen partner. What would you do if you really had to think about it? Okay, and then now you've got some hypothetical that you could probe in. Okay, so that's how that works. So they don't have a process. Okay, the fact that they don't have a process is often the problem. They're on the call. And so what we can do, there's a bit of a hack there. And this is a great question that I've heard bantered about. So what do you think you may be missing in terms of knowledge, support, or even mindset, if that's applicable to your offer, that's prevented you from taking action on, say, losing the weight? And then the very fact that they haven't got a process, you can just probe it straight away. Oh, it's my mindset. Oh, it's my lack of knowledge. What do you mean by that? How long's that been going on? And you're not having the knowledge you need. Like, what's that looking like on a day to day when we're talking about food choices? Yeah, just start the old probe tree going off. Um, okay, so that should make sense. So only getting surface info on the prospects process. So research the industry variables, metrics, KPIs that you need to get the clarity on how the process is broken. Okay, so this might be for like a lead gen offer. How many leads are you generating at the moment, and what is the acquisition cost per client? Okay, and what is the lifetime value of the average client? So by having all these, what you do is you've got far more detail to go into the weeds with. So when somebody has got a broken process, you can, if they're losing money, for example, like you can say, well, how long's that been going on? How much money have you lost? Obviously, if you don't fix this, it's like 6 months down the line, how much money is going to be, eviscerated? So you've got much more legs to stand on. Makes for a more solid call. Okay, the next one then is this is more like a kind of delivery thing, and this is if you sound like the Spanish Inquisition. All right, so this is where tonality really plays a part, and also contextualization, and just being more chilled and having reps as well. Reps, what I mean is reps is repetitions on the offer. Yeah. So thanks for that, Fred. Just so I can really see things from your perspective. You mentioned about lead cost briefly. If I may ask, like, what is your current acquisition cost per client? Yeah. See how much smooth that sounds, rather than just machine gunning questions at people. So you hear that quite a lot. And then lastly, you have to make calculations in the moment, and you get flustered. So what you can do, guys, is you can make your life easy with a matrix. And so when I was selling kind of sales training, we used to work out in advance like how much comms they would make and all the rest of it. And so what we used to do is just like a behind the scenes little calculator of all little, easy to use little matrix, I suppose. We worked out how much money people were requiring, how much money they were losing according to like how many deals they were letting through the table and things like that. Uh, they leaving deals on the table, not. And then what we can do, and what instead of having to do like dodgy maths and take your eye off the ball. It was much easier with the matrix behind the scenes then, just to really work on it. So that's just a little hack there, guys. All right. So in terms of the situation questions, that's kind of like what we need to get before moving on. And these are like the kind of hacks then, the problems and how to fix them, so that you can safely navigate um, the phase, but also identify what may be going wrong. All right, guys.